What is going on, guys? Yamamoto was just announced, and ironically, I actually was not that impressed by Yamamoto. But at second glance, and understanding what kind of character he is, coming in as a powerhouse archetype, I now see Tamsoft really cooked. I'm going to be breaking down exactly why, but first,
Run that shit back!
the head captain Genryusai Yamamoto is described to have overwhelming firepower from his attacks using his Zanpakuto. When using his flash attacks or his unique signature moves, the Inferno gauge accumulates, and when it reaches its maximum, he enters his Hellfire state. During that period of time, the damage he deals to the opponent is significantly increased, but his own health decreases, so you will need to be careful when managing both his Inferno and his Hellfire state. When we look at his signature move, it says it unleashes a powerful wide-range slash wrapping in flames. It is possible to perform another attack with additional input. When we look at Yamamoto, we see that his ease of use is a 2. His attack is a 5. Speed is 1. Range is 3. Durability is 5. And technique is 3. He'll be tricky to manage, but if you understand the character you have at your disposal, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. He is a powerhouse archetype. They're described to be characters that have low mobility, but they make up for it in high damage output. Their key features are they have a strong presence, high damage output, sturdiness, and they build upon their momentum. They're able to maximize punishments, space control, and have massive damage potential. Yamamoto starts off in his Inferno state. When he uses flash attacks or his signature move, his Inferno state will accumulate, and when you land a quick attack, it decreases. The more of the Inferno gauge that accumulates, the higher your attack power becomes, and when it reaches its max, you enter the Hell Flame state. In the Hell Flame state, your attack power increases, but your reishi, or your health, decreases consistently. One strategy you'll want to implement is at the start of the fight, you'll want to manage between quick attacks and flash attacks. By doing a little bit of both, you'll be able to keep your Inferno gauge at bay. That way, you don't enter Hellfire state until you actually want to. When you want to, you'll want to focus more so on flash attacks and your signature move. You'll want to build your spiritual power at the beginning of the fight, and since you need to do that by dealing damage, the best thing for you is going to be to do combos at the very beginning. Once you've accumulated your gauge, you'll want to take a look at your spiritual pressure move 1, which attacks with shooting flames forward. When active, the user will go into his Hellfire state. During that state, while using your spiritual technique 1, you can hold it down to increase the damage. Something to understand is that once you have used your spiritual pressure move 1, you are in your Hellflame state. Because of this, I think it would be ideal to increase your spiritual power as much as possible, so that way, once you have your spiritual pressure move 1, you can use your spiritual pressure move 2, and here is why. With your spiritual pressure move 2, it will have 2 different attacks depending on which state you're in. In the Inferno state, you have a low power flame attack, and upon activation, your Inferno state cannot increase for a period of time. This actually might be to your benefit because you'll be able to keep your Inferno gauge at a certain limit. Then any attack that you do, it is understood from this that you won't be able to increase it, so you'll be able to do any sort of attack without worry of going into your Hellfire state. However, if you are already in your Hellfire state and you activate this technique, such as if you were to activate your spiritual technique 1, if you had enough spiritual power to activate spiritual technique 2, you could then immediately unleash all the power you have and do a very powerful flash of flames. Upon activation, the Hellfire state is released. So, a good thing is this: if you get to your maximum, a good way to stop the damage that's occurring and happening to you is by releasing your spiritual pressure technique 2. Whether or not you're doing damage to the opponent, once you're in your Hellfire state, you are taking damage. It's almost like you've taken in all of your flames. So you have to understand, as a powerhouse, you are ramping up, you are churning out all of that flame, and you have to do something with it. It's very much speaking to his fight to Wonder Weiss, and even in Thousand Year Blood War arc, where Unohana says,
"You don't have much time, Head Captain. Please be quick about it, or you could end up destroying the very world you're trying to protect."
He is so powerful that he has to actually control his flames, or he's at risk of destroying everything he's trying to protect. That is the reason why his powers are based like this. He's actually great when you look at him. In his awakening, he increases the output of his Shikai. With more spiritual particles and increased damage dealt to his opponent, he can further compensate for his low mobility and exert more than enough power. Essentially, he's going to be gaining more health, and he's going to be having an attack stat of 6. All in all, with him, it's going to be an ebb and flow type of game. You're going to want to understand that you can't make the wrong move, but if you make the right choices, intimidate your opponent, learn some patience. One thing is that as a head captain, he survived by knowing how to read the enemy and establishing a lot of patience. You're not going to just want to run in there guns blazing. You're going to want to make sure you are cool, calm, and collected. Keep a level head. The head captain didn't survive this long being such a hothead. He may have had a quick temper, but he knew when to steal it. So make sure you understand patience in the battle and when to move and how. That's going to be how you get the advantage with Yamamoto, but you let me know what you think down in the comments. This has been your boy Saint Irving. If you like this video, if you like my breakdown, please feel free to subscribe, like, and comment. Make sure you subscribe, as I have some announcements coming up soon for the channel. But for now, I'm your boy Saint Irving, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.